Guys, today's video is on more trinomials. We've learned how to factor through greatest common factor. We've learned how to factor four terms, which is called grouping. We've done trinomials where the beginning was just x squared. Now we're going to do trinomials where the beginning is a number, not just x squared. There's a coefficient in front. And surprise, surprise, you do the same thing that we've done with trinomials with a coefficient of 1. Let's review. This trinomial is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. A this time is 2, b is 5, and then c is 3. Same steps as before. Multiply a times c. This time we get 6. So now you're finding two integers who multiply to get that number 6, but add to get b. Let me scroll down so we can get this done. I'm going to make my chart again. I want numbers that multiply to get a positive 6, but at the same time add to get the b value. This b value was 5, positive 5. So let's list numbers that multiply to get 6. 6 times 1, 3 times 2. Do not forget about the negatives. Negative 6 times negative 1. Negative 3 times negative 2. But which one of those adds to get 5? It's this one right here, 3 and 2. Now that we found our two factors of 3 and 2, let's go to our next step and rewrite them. So then we can solve by grouping again. Okay, so your two factors were 3 and 2. I'm going to write that over here. And I'm going to rewrite the middle term bx as the sum of the two integers. So we had 2x squared. And then instead of writing the 5x in the middle, we write our two factors, 3x and 2x. And then the last c value stays the same. It was 6. So again, the only things that changed was the b value in the middle. Next thing to do, guys, today's video is on factoring more different types of trinomials. Again, we've done GCF, we've done grouping, we've done trinomials, but with the beginning just being x squared. Now we're going to do trinomials and factor them where the beginning is not just x squared, there's a coefficient in front. So let's look at the first one. You follow the same type of pattern that we've done before, where the a value, b value, and c value. So the a is 2, here the b is 5, and the c is 3. Same thing like before, a times c, you get 6. So we want to find two numbers that multiply to get that new value of 6, but at the same time add to get the middle value of 5. Let's list our factors of 6. So we can do 6 times 1. We can do 2 times 3. We can do negative 6 times negative 1. And we can do negative 2 times negative 3. But which one of those add to get 5? It is this middle one right here, because positive 2 plus positive 3 equals 5. So on the side, let's list our factors. We got positive 2 and positive 3. Just like factoring trinomials, we're going to follow the next same couple steps, rewriting our b value. So our original trinomial, I'm going to write just right here, 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. That was the beginning problem, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yeah, there we go. So instead of writing 5x right there, I'm going to write that as a 2x and a 3x. Everything else stays the same here and here. Again, the only thing that's changing is the middle. And now we just factor by grouping, which you guys are pretty good at. Draw a line down the middle, factor that, find the GCF of that, So the GCF of the binomial on the left is 2x. What's left over is an x and a 1, because when we divide by 2x, they cross out over here and make 1. The GCF on the right side is a positive 3. Taking out a 3 gives us an x plus 1 as well. So we know we're doing this right because we both have the same thing in the parentheses here, the x plus 1. And the way we write our final answer is we combine the two GCFs together as one factor, and as the other factor, we take one of the ones in parentheses. And you can check, if you would like, by distribution. Or foiling, and you would get the same answer that we had to start. Write what questions you have so far on trinomial factoring where the beginning is not 1. Again, it's very similar, almost the same thing as what we did before. Let's do a little harder example. In this example number 2, let's write our factors, or excuse me, our A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Next step is to find A times C. That gives a negative 24. So we want two numbers that, and it's not 36, sorry guys, I messed that up. You want two numbers that multiply to get negative 24, but at the same time add to get the B value. Here's the B value right there, negative 5. All right, this might be not as obvious for some of you, so let's write our factors down. To get negative 24, we can do 8 times negative 3. We can do negative 8 times positive 3, and there is a difference between the two. Okay, when we add them together, there is a difference. We do 24 times negative 1, negative 24 times positive 1. We can do 12 times negative 2. We can do negative 12 times positive 2. We can do 3, oh, we already did 3 times 8, so let's check the 6 tables. We can do 6 times negative 4, and also negative 6 times positive 4. And with all this stuff, I know you guys are like, do I really have to list all the factors out? Right now you do, because some of you aren't as great at finding the factors in your head and adding to get the other number. So list all the factors. It helps. Now let's figure out which of these adds to get a negative 5. Looking at this, I believe it's right here. So negative 8 and a 3 make your negative 5. Those are your two factors. We got negative 8 and 3. Let's scroll on down and finish up by doing the grouping part. Let's rewrite the B value. So again, we started with 6x squared minus 5x minus 4. Rewriting the B value, we get 6x squared minus 8x plus 3x minus 4. And then factor by grouping, draw a line down the middle. GCF on the left is a 2x, and you're left with this. GCF on the right, there is no GCF here, so we're going to write a positive 1. And that keeps this the same as the other parenthesis. And the way you write your final answer is 2x plus 1, and then 3x minus 4. Write down what questions you have on this example before we go over it more in class. And then the last one, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I want you guys to finish it, but I do want to help you with the start. With this example, it says example 2, but it should be example 3. Maybe we could change that. Okay. Before you write down your A, B, and C, that is wrong. What you need to do is always look for a GCF first. Look for a GCF first. The GCF of this trinomial is a 5. I can take out a 5 first. By taking out a 5, I'm left with 2x squared plus 15x plus 7. These are your new a, b, and c values. Those are all your new a, b, and c values. Now I want you to factor with your new a, b, and c's, and you will get a final answer and write in the blank. Have a great night, guys. Let me know what questions you have. See you tomorrow.